and wish you all a very, very, very happy New Year, a happy Makar Sankranti, Pongal, Lodi. I believe that people are going to be joining from all parts of India. So a very, very warm welcome to all of you. Hope 2021 is going to be rocking for all of us. 2020 was rocking as well. So this is the first series of a workshop which Chalk Academy is going to start off with. Myself, Sheetal. Let me just give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm the founder director for Chalk Academy and have been there into education domain, specifically into preschool domain from last 18 years. And I have been training teachers, training academicians, training trainers, business people, and maybe I would have trained probably more than 3,500 people across this 18 years of my experience. Chalk Academy comes with a mission of empowering all educators so that all the educators can have, can be empowered to understand and give children a lot than what they can they are giving right now. So that's what is the motive of Chalk Academy. Obviously we will be talking a lot on how you can do this. So this 10 tip series workshop focuses majorly on educators, parents, teachers, those who want their inputs to be more in terms of value addition to the children. We will be having a couple of more people joining in, but then I don't want the session to be starting late. So let's start off. Um, so today we will start off with the first series of the first day of the 10 tips series workshop. And day one, we are going to start off with reading readiness, right? So all of you will, as educators, obviously I know that majority of you are over here educators. So all of you would be understanding that reading is a very, very, very essential component of children at preschooler level itself. So starting it early definitely helps them out in having their reading practices onto the later stage of life. So reading should be inbuilt into the children at a very early age. Now, what is the right time for reading? I mean, when do you know that the child is already ready to read? Because a child, when it is born at around 1 month, 2 months, obviously the child is not ready to read, right? So how as educators, how as parents, how as teachers, we would be able to understand that a child is ready to read, and what should be an age appropriate reading, and how you should inculcate that reading habits into our children. That's the most important question which all our educators should understand and start building on the reading practices in children from the time they are ready. Okay, so when we say ready, what does readiness means? Okay, so reading readiness, we all talk about reading readiness, we all talk about arithmetic readiness, we all talk about writing readiness. These are the most three important r's of readiness. We always talk about the 3 r's of readiness. So the first r is the reading readiness. Okay, so what do you understand by readiness? So in general, when you are going out, so let's say for example you're going out for a meeting, you take your bath, you start wearing a formal cloth, you start wearing a shoes, you start understanding, you start wearing your sometimes when we have ladies, they have their makeups on, right? Guys, they have their suits on. That what they are doing, they are getting ready, right? Ready for going into an event. So that's what is readiness, right? So similarly, when we talk about reading readiness or getting ready for something, that means Readiness on the level of physical, mental maturity at which the child is able to meet the requirements, the task which is given to the child, right? So any task which is given to the child has to be physically and mentally ready or mature to accomplish the task with understanding and interest. Please understand that these are the two major components which we always have to take care of: understanding and the interest, right? If the child is not interested, the child will not understand. If the child is not understanding, that the child will not be interested, right? So these are two components which are close to each other, but has a very, very important role. I guess everybody is able to view the screen, right? Can anybody give me a thumbs up if you all are able to view the screen? Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. Now, it's a process that begins when a child is kind of born and continues with the experience which the child gains throughout the ages when the child is actually growing or developing. So the moment the child is born, at that point of time itself, there is learning which starts, and during the process, every process of learning happens with the age. So let's see, what do you mean by then reading readiness, right? So we understood what is readiness. So in readiness, a child should be ready to accomplish any kind of task with understanding and interest, right? So these are the two major components which we all have to take care of. Now, when we come to reading readiness, what exactly is reading readiness? Similarly, as we spoke about readiness, reading readiness is the child getting ready to read, right? Both with interest and understanding. Now, when we talk about interest and understanding in reading, what does that involve? It includes the skills where the child understands the name of the letter, the sound of the letter, combination to form a word. What does that word mean? How the child can use the word, and what the child can understand from the word, right? So all these things are included into reading readiness, right? Now, how do I know that my child understands the name, my child is interested in reading, my child will love reading? So, so that thing you will have to make out. So this doesn't happen again in a day's time. It happens over different stages. Now, there are 4 basic stages where the reading readiness happens, right? Now, the first stage is when the child understands the orientation of the book. Now, if there is a book, how do I know that which is the front of the book, which is the back of the book? The child should know that. The moment the child understands that this is the front and this is the back, I'll have to turn the pages from this side. Then at that point of time, you understand, okay, my child has started taking interest in reading. The child picks up a book by himself or herself, grabs it and tries to open it. The child has started taking interest in reading or books. Second, the child should understand the pattern of reading, left to right. Right? So the orientation of reading is always left to right. So the child has to understand, okay, this is the right way of reading. I understand that, okay, the picture over here in the left hand side is first and the right hand side is second, right? That's where the child is getting ready. The next, flip the pages of the books, right? At the age when the child is infant, in between when the child is like kind of 7 months, 8 months, they start grabbing hold of, or grabbing the books and all, right? At that age, we usually give the child those thicker book covers, the thicker ones, which are called as board books. Okay, board books. Or we also give them kind of options of texture books, which helps them into their sensorial expression or sensorial experience, right? Now let them flip the pages. That's where you understand the child has started taking interest. Now the interest is not converted into understanding at this stage. This is the first stage, right? So now this is the interest phase. I request everyone to please switch off your mics, put yourself on mute because it might disturb others. And the moment you are speaking, then you can switch on your mics. Request everyone to please switch off your mics. I see Meenakshi. Meenakshi, could you please switch off your mic?
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, so flipping the pages. So the child has started flipping. So the child has started taking interest in the books. Observes the points and the images as well, points out the images. So now this index finger, very important role in reading, because this is the first finger which starts pointing out to the objects or the images, where you understand the child has started understanding the pictures now, where he starts pointing out the objects, identifies the pictures and relates to the real objects. This is where slowly towards the end of the second stage, the understanding starts beginning. So the interest start converting to understanding. Now comes the second stage, which comes to focus, listening, sits with interest with the book, right? Now the child is slowly converting that interest into understanding. The child is want to interpret what the book wants to talk to the child, what the book wants to say the child, right? That's where the interest is converting to understanding, right? Now comes the third stage, joint attention. Now, there is another person coming across along with you, and you are not only paying attention to the book which you are reading, but you are also having a conversation with the other person along with answering the questions, following the interest, understanding the prints, letter names, phonics, rhymes, everything, right? Now, this is the third stage where the understanding is building up. The child is following instructions and following the books as well, along with the second person. Now comes the fourth stage, which is the formation of words and sentences. Now, with the phonic sounds, with the letter names, now the child has started formulating words. The child has started understanding sentences and again bifurcating the sentences and understanding the meaning of the sentences. The child can comprehend the meaning of what is written in the story, or what is written, or what does that line says. That is where reading starts from there, and the child doesn't stop. If at all the child is nurtured properly, if the child is given different opportunities, from the fourth stage onwards, reading doesn't stop. Reading continues and continues and continues. Okay, so let's jot down that what we learned, that what are the skills which indicates that the child is ready to learn. The first, age appropriate oral language development. Obviously that's a very important point, where you need to also understand it's not only the reading but also the expressive language which is required, but the child should have enough of vocabulary to say what he has read. Okay. Second, able to repeat a sentence, whatever he or she has read, he or she is able to repeat that, or whatever instruction you have given, they are able to repeat that. Hold a book correctly, knows orientation left to right, appreciates a story and a book, understands again the moral what we are telling, because at this point of time we have a lot of tendency of telling social stories to the children, a lot of moral stories to the children. So the child should understand emotions, the child should understand what the story talks about, what the story is wanting to give a message, or what the book is going to give a message. The phonic awareness, obviously, until and unless the child has a phonic awareness, the child will not be able to build words or read words. Understanding of basic print concept, understanding of alphabetic principles, an ability to distinguish shapes, and ability to identify at least some letters of the alphabets, right? So that's where the reading starts and goes on. So chalo, now let's move on to what do we do to make reading fun. So here we will do 10 tips as I promised, and as it is the motive of the workshop, we'll do 10 tips to make reading fun and to inculcate reading readiness into the children and help them read, right? Read more and more. So we'll start with tip number 10. Okay. Blind dates with the books. Now you will have to be aware what is the reading standard of the child, or you will have to set up a benchmark for what exactly is the level of reading of the child, and then give them blind dates with books. Right now, the blind dates are basically wrapping the books into beautiful packages, writing the name of the child. If you are an educator, obviously, or a teacher or an educator where you are catering to 20 children altogether, then please have these books wrapped, and these are put across onto, your bookshelves, and the children go and they search their names, so the reading starts from there. Okay. So they, and you can write beautiful messages along with the the tag name of the child. You can write beautiful messages and tell them that what they can do with this book. Now once they read, they will have to tell what they understood, right? It's a beautiful exercise, and which can continue for more than 6 months, depending on the level of the child and depending on the interest level and the curiosity which you create in the children, right? You can also have quiz into it, you can also have gifts into it. Once they open up the wrapper, there can be a beautiful message inside along from the teachers, which a blind date usually has, so think about your dates, how you're going to have a lunch date or a dinner date with your loved ones, and what would you expect. So please create that curiosity during the blind date with a book for the children, and believe me, it works wonders. um, During lockdowns, or during the time when the children are yet not come across to the school, you guys can actually use postal services for sending these books to the children. They will love it. Okay. So the first, or the tip number 10, let's start with tip number 10, blind date with the books. So this will definitely help the child in making the child curious about what is there inside, and helping them in reading as well. Tip number 9, newspaper cuttings for making sentences. Now, again, it depends on the ability of the child, the age of the child. You can have the complexity increased. Now, when a child is at the level of alphabets, please stick to alphabets. They have to cut the alphabets and stick it across onto a paper. Now, when the children have moved on to the second level and they are into the stage of sentence formation, you can actually give them a sentence and ask them to cut it out from the newspaper and build that sentence. If the children are on the level of story formation, they can actually build stories by cutting the newspapers. Now, the idea is that they will have to scan through to find that letter. Now, in the process of scanning, they are actually finding out new words, right? They're actually finding and discovering that, okay, mom, what does that word means? So they can ask teachers also, right? But at the same point of time, you also should be free enough to answer the questions, right? So make sure that these newspaper cutouts and the sentences which they have formed is done on a regular basis. This not only helps them into their reading readiness, but also their fine motor grips, because they are using scissors. So they are using their tripod and their fingers. So there's a lot of hand-eye coordination. There's a lot of finger movement. So has a lot of importance into that as well, right? Now let's move on into the next one, which is picture reading. Okay. When you are doing a picture reading, it's a picture which is given to the child. There's no alphabets, nothing. The child can actually talk to you depending on the level of the child. You can choose a picture. The picture can have just 2 3 characters into it. The picture can have multiple characters. The picture can have a beautiful background. Let's say this picture, there are multiple characters doing multiple things, and there is a beautiful background of a park or an open area as well. Now, I choose this to give it across to a senior KG child, where the child can actually not only talk a lot about it, but can also form a few sentences in the form of writing, right? Now you choose that whether you want to give a writing activity, whether you want to give a reading activity to the child, depending on the age. But when you're talking about picture reading, usually you do the reading, I mean, ask the child to whatever the child has understood, they can talk about it to you. And then if the child has missed out anything, you might give them a probing question. Now, let's say, for example, in this, the child has written that we are at the park. At the park, we can play. We can run to the trees. At the trees, we can hide. And we are happy at the park. Okay, so there are about 4 sentences which the child has written. So the child doesn't write about the bench. The child doesn't write about the swing. The child doesn't write about the beautiful colored leaves. The child doesn't write about the grass. The child doesn't write about the children hopping on each other, right? So you can probe the question so that the child has a thought and starts analyzing towards that aspect, right? So you can take it to the next level depending on what kind of level the child is in. Tip number 7, word search, right? So we keep on getting these kind of messages onto the Facebook that which are the 3 words you see first, right? Everybody starts getting it. And then if you are getting these words, then what is your character and stuffs like that. So, right? So these are very useful for kids as well, right? So not because that they want to know that what kind of personality I am, but because they have to search. They have to search for the words which are given. Now, if you want to build vocabulary into a particular letter or an alphabet, let's say letter A, then you can start giving them word search activity onto that specific letter, right? So what you do is now you start building vocabulary to the child, because that's very important, that if the child doesn't have vocabulary, reading stops over there, right? The child should start building vocabulary. So what you have to do is for every alphabet, you'll have to give them a word search activity, right? You can also give a word search activity of multiple words and letters and everything, which is a jigsaw puzzle, and then you can ask them to find out those words. That's going to be really interesting for them. Uh, Another word search, rather word building activity which you can do is that you can have a bigger word. Usually the words into medical languages are kind of very lengthy words, right? Meningitis, pelecephalo, and whatever, right? So you can choose a word from there and give it across to the child and ask them to make small words. Let's see how many words they can make, right? And then you both can have a competition telling that, okay, I can make so many words, you can make so many words. But again, you will have to understand the level of the child, what level the child is in, and what level the child can have these words built in. Okay, so sorry. Okay, let's come to the next tip, which is reading corner at the home. Please have reading corners at your home. That's kind of essential for building up reading activities for children, right? Now, the until and unless you have a specific place, a cozy and a comfortable corner for the children, it becomes really difficult for the child to concentrate onto an open area because they are getting ready to read. So a tent and a torch helps them a lot. They are excited about that activity and they feel that as if, I am going to be uh, uh, curiously reading, or I'm going to just hide and read. So these kind of activities helps them a lot. Along with that, you should have a lot of options at home for reading, like the number of books which you have. There should be multiple options of reading at the home for the children. Tip number 5, there should be a lot of texture books initially given to the children, right? Like, let's say once during the toddler stage or just before the toddler stage, when they are infants, there should be a lot of texture books given to them. That's because um, children need a lot of sensorial exposure. So their hands are seeking for something to touch and feel, and then start the activities from there. The moment you start giving them something sensorial experience at the infant or the toddler stage, they will be quite inclined towards that activity. So when the children are at the stage that they are choosing a book, they are turning the pages, understanding the orientation of pages, trying to look at the pictures, holding the pictures, touching the pictures, that point of time, sensorial books or the texture books are beautiful for children to start their reading experience. So please start exposing your children to the sensorial experiences and start with texture books, right? Tip number 4, building vocabulary games. All of you would have played Scrabble. We fight, we fight with each other and become very for playing that. Okay, I have this word, I have that. We are very excited during playing that Scrabble, but believe me, it's an amazing game for building words and vocabularies. So the moment you start playing these kind of games, they understand shorter words, longer words, addition of new words into their brains as new vocabularies will help them out into reading. So playing Scrabble should be there into your routine regularly. Okay. Using digital medium appropriately. Now at this point of time when the children are already glued on, so these kids are called as the digital era kids, right? So kids, when they are born, they don't see the mother first, they see the phone first, because we keep on, clicking the pictures of the baby to put it across onto our Facebook and Instagram pages. So a kid born first sees the phone first, not the mother first. That's what we say. So but it's really important that we use the digital medium properly with the children. There are a lot of apps which can be helpful for the children, and you guys can actually download it. There's a lot of apps on Netflix, there's a lot of apps on Amazon, which you guys can download and help the children to start reading habits. Some of the apps which you guys can try is Homer, reading eggs, which helps the children a lot. Again, depending on the age of the child. One app which I started my son with was Kidlo Land, which obviously he was kind of glued on to his tab, and hence we started off with a app called as Kidlo Land, which had a lot of games, which had a lot of rhymes, which had a lot of activities to do with the child. And hence it's very important that rather giving the child a, a digital platform which is unguided, it's always better that you guide the child or have couple of apps given to the child where which inculcates the reading habit, and hence you guys can use the digital media appropriately. uh, Tip number 2: how much ever digitalized you are, bookstores cannot be avoided. Till now, the smell of the books have something aromatic or has something magical which pushes you all to read. I still remember when I don't know, all of you would have experienced the smell of the books when the book used to be issued for the first time, when we used to be kids. And I always used to think that when am I going to open this book, when am I going to read this chapter, when I'm going to read that chapter. Similarly, it used to happen with the notebooks as well. When am I going to write? I used to be so excited with the new books, specifically with this, with the kind of smell which starts coming in from the book. So do not ignore the traditional ways of taking your children to the bookstores. That's inevitable. You must visit bookstores at least twice a month. At least twice a month. Um, Good part is that nowadays we have beautiful collection of books in the bookstores, and the availability of the categorization of books in terms of the age, in terms of the material used in the books, in terms of the pictures, in terms of the content, it's beautiful. So just take your kids and leave them inside the bookstores. Let them choose their own books. Let them start reading over there. Now, the good part again is that bookstores like Crossword, and so these places, Just Books, which I know a couple of them, they are quite child friendly because they organize a lot of events for children. For example, puppet shows, storytelling. They organize so many events for the child. Hence, it's very important that you take a call, and at least twice a month there should be a bookstore visit, right? Last, which is tip number 1: book clubs. Start book clubs with your children and the community which is there close by to you. So all your neighbors, all your children, should be involved into book clubs. So when I say book clubs, it's not only about book. There is a lot of socialization which happens. There's a lot of things which children share onto this platform. They share about the story which one child read the last night, and the other child shares about the story which he read, what they understood, what they interpreted. And similarly, there is a lot of interpretation which is being shared across in the group. So it's not only socialization, it is vocabulary, it is books. And just imagine the kind of pool of books you will have when you have a book club, right? Every child, if they are having about 30 books or 50 books, and there are 10 children, just imagine you have 500 books already, right? So at the community itself, when you start off something like this helps the children to build in their love for books and the love for reading by themselves. So with this, obviously, we come to an end for the first day of the 10 tips series. So a bit about chalk. Obviously, we do a lot of specialization program into reading activities or reading readiness. There are certification programs which we do for reading readiness, because there's a lot of work which has to be done into reading readiness and stuffs like that. So there are courses of 10 hours which we usually do for reading readiness activities. Right now we are definitely running our online courses. Other than obviously the certification programs which we are talking over here, like there are close to about 45 certification programs, out of which reading, writing, and arithmetic readiness are one of the programs which are all 10-hour programs. And obviously at the end of the course we do give you certificates which is internationally recognized. Other than that, obviously we do have our diploma programs into early childhood education, which is running online right now because of the pandemics. Other than that, we definitely had close to about 20 plus centers across India where our accreditations are there, along with uh, international recognized or international accreditation organization, where the certificates will be valid across 33 countries. All India Early Childhood Care Education Certification, which is approved by Ministry of HRD of India. And we also as a part of ECA as well. Uh, Obviously, on the completion of the early childhood diploma program, you get certifications not only of the international or the course completion certificate, which has all the logos of the accreditation. You also get two more certification, which is called as POXO and a Safe Baby certificate, which is going to be given when we complete the course of 6 months program, a 4 months and a 6 months program, along with your internship programs. These are our centers. In case you want to get in touch for any kind of course details, you can call us up or write us on the email ID. Any questions? I would love to hear, or if you can just raise your hand where you guys want to ask any kind of questions.
Hi, Sheetal. Good morning. Hmm.
Hi Vandana, how are
Hi.
you?
Yeah, good, Sheetal. Sorry, I got stuck in something. I just missed the first 5 slides of yours, and
Okay.
yeah, first 5 slides. I just missed it. Can you just show me that once, please? You don't
Sure. So
mind?
we were just speaking about the
Oh,
readiness.
okay.
So what exactly readiness means? So when we talk about readiness, it's basically, okay, so the first slide was definitely an introduction of yeah.
Okay.
So readiness was basically a kind of physical, mental maturity of the child to be doing any kind of task
Yeah.
and understanding with interest of that task.
Yeah. Fine. It was quite a descriptive slideshow, and on your part also, it was quite explanative. Good.
Great.
Yeah.
I hope you have taken something from this session.
Definitely. Definitely.
Great. So I hope you all would have left your email address while you have registered. So once we finish this 10 days workshop, you will be sent a link for the feedback, obviously for the session, and you will be getting a certification for the program as well.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Uh,
Thank you so much, everyone. So see you all tomorrow again at the same time. So stay
Bye bye.
tuned. Bye bye.
Bye.